So good morning friends. So today we continue the session, the environment and the ecology. So till yesterday we had done the pollutants in the ecosystem. Okay, in the ecosystem topic we had dealing with the energy flow. Our chapter name is functions of ecosystem. Functions of ecosystem. So in this we have done with the energy flow, nutrient cycle, and third topic is ecological succession. Okay, so in the energy flow we have done the entire topics, and we are left with the two topics, that is biotic interaction and the second topic is biogeochemical cycle. So these two topics we are left in this concept, that is energy flow. So the biotic interaction and the biogeochemicals. Now we are going to see the nutrient cycle. So in the nutrient cycle we have, guys, what is nutrient cycle? So the nutrients in the system will be replenished and again it will be take place. So for this process we have the two types of nutrient cycle, guys. So that is gaseous and sediment. So we have many cycles, but broadly we see the water cycle, carbon cycle, and the nitrogen cycle in the gaseous cycle, guys. So whereas in the sedimentary we see the phosphorus and sulfur cycle. So if you see these five nutrient cycles, we complete this nutrient cycle topic, guys. Okay. So simply we have classified in the gaseous and the sediments. In gaseous we are going to see the water, carbon and the nitrogen cycles, and in the sediments we are going to see the phosphorus and sulfur cycle, guys. So after this there will be small topic, that is ecological succession. Okay, ecological succession, its types, its characteristics, all those we will be dealt in the second class, guys. Sorry, the next class. Okay, today I am going to take this topic, that is the biotic interaction, the biogeochemical cycle and the gaseous nutrient cycle. So this topic we will do in this class. Okay, guys, clear what we are going to do in this class? That is the yesterday's energy flow topic. In that we are going to do the remaining topics, that is the biotic interaction and the biogeochemical cycle. And in the nutrient cycle we are going to deal with the gaseous cycle, guys, that is water, carbon and nitrogen. And the sediments we will do the tomorrow, guys. Okay, that is phosphorus and sulfur. So I continue with the biotic interaction, guys. Okay. Biotic interaction. So what do you mean by biotic interaction, guys? So biotic interaction is biotic means living organism interact with each other, guys, and exchange material between them is known as its biotic interaction, guys. So how species will interact with each other and how they are going to exchange material between them, and which one is species will be going to benefit, which will be affected. So all these consequences we are going to deal with this topic, guys. So for example, if you take the type, so type of the mechanism that is happening, and we take the example of species 1 and species 2. Okay, so guys, we will see how the interaction will be take place. So for example, mutualism. So what do you mean by mutualism? In mutualism, both the species 1 and the species 2 going to be benefit, guys. So how those things are going to take in the ecosystem? So in what way those are going to take. So for example, if you take this species 1 as a small plant, guys, okay, small plant, and species 2 as an bees, okay. So this plant depend upon the bees for the pollination and seed dispersion, guys. So this plant depend upon the bees for the pollination and the seed dispersion, okay, pollination and seed dispersion, whereas these bees depend upon the plant for the nectar. So in this way, this is going to benefit from the species 2 and the species 2 is going to benefit from the species 1. This is known as the mutualism, guys. So this is the very important, guys, for any competitive exam. But the UPSC won't ask this type of simple example, guys. You should still work hard to get conceptual clarity and should go through more examples, guys. Okay, this is where what the mutuation takes place. So species 1 is going to benefit from the species 2 in the one way, and 2 is going to benefit from the 1 in the some other way. So this is the mutualism. So we go for some other second one, guys, that is commensalism. Commensalism. So in guys, for our understanding, we will do like this, guys. So here, if you take plus means it is benefited. So minus affected, okay, and 0 neutral, okay. So here the process is the mutual means both are getting affected. Both are getting benefited means plus and the plus. Okay, guys. So in the commensalism we have the plus and 0, guys. Plus and 0 means, so one organism is benefited and the other one is having not effect because of its benefit. So for example, if you take the birds, guys, birds and a tree. So the many birds lie on the tree, guys. So for their survival and for their existence, but these are not affecting the tree. Okay, guys. So this is the type of commensalism. So birds are getting advantage, but the trees are not getting affected. This is commensalism, guys. Okay. So we go for one more few things. Amensalism. Okay. So amensalism, guys. In amensalism, it is affected and it has no effect in the system, guys. So how it will be takes place? So for example, guys, the small plants, guys, small plants which lie on the big tree. See, guys, if a small plant lies here, this tree is not going to affect it, but this is going to affect it because it does not receive the plenty of sunlight which required for its proper growth. So in this way, the amensalism is the one organism is affected and the other organism is kept as neutral. Guys, it's clear? So if a small tree lies here, so because of its canopy structure, this will not receive the sunlight required for its survival. So in such a way, it is going to be affected. So this is the example of the amensalism. So now we will see competition. Okay, means both are getting affected, guys. So for example, guys, we have only small amount of food here, okay, but the number of organisms are 2 for those food. So it's going to affect, guys. Why? Because this organism can't get the food which is required by this, and the same organism also can't get the food required for this process. So if you take this example, both will get the only few amount of food, guys. So I mean, so this organism can't take the food required for this process, and this is also can't take, guys. So in such a way, it will be competition, guys. Okay, competition. So competition for only one thing. Generally, we compete for one thing. Okay, and there will be participator will be more than one. Is known as competition, guys. So now we will see predation. So what do you mean by predation? species 1 is getting affected and the species 2 is so species 1 is affected and species 2 is advantage guys. So in this process we have the prediction. So prediction is the like for example if you take deer guys, okay, deer over here or a tiger. So in this process tiger is getting benefited by taking its prey from the deer guys, okay. So it is an predator, it is an prey. So predator is the one organism is going to benefit and the other is going to affect it, is known as prediction. And we have parasitism. So in parasitism, same guys. So one is affected and one is advantage and the other one is the affected. So we have the example of ticks like mosquitoes, and the affected is human. Guys, the ticks or mosquitoes suck the blood of the human beings guys. So the ticks are going to affected with the energy and the human beings are getting affected guys, okay. So these are benefited, these are affected. So now what is the difference between prediction and parasitism guys? So I have explained that both the things are positive, negative. So what is the difference between prediction and the parasitism? So prediction is the type of mechanism that is done only for the food, whereas the parasitism is the one which is done for the food and the shelter guys. So food and the shelter. So we should have conceptual clarity guys. So where to use which word or which terminology. Prediction is the one organism depend upon the other as a consequence, means sequence, like grasshopper, okay, grasshopper, lizard, deer, like that, means it's cycle gas. So it's a process of cycle. So one organism depend upon the other for the survival, okay. Whereas the parasitism is not like that. So that gets the food from the host organism, that is human beings, okay, and also it will be getting shelter guys. So this is the way how this species are interacting in the ecosystem, that is mutual, commensalism, competition, predation and parasitism. We have one more thing guys, that is neutral guys, means the neutral, both the things are not getting affected. 0. So for example, if you take the a cactus plant in the lizard, so on the cactus there will be spread of the spider. So those both things are not getting affected to their interaction with each other guys. So this is the example of biotic interaction guys. Very important concept guys. You can get one question from UPSC prelims guys, okay, and also for competitive exams. So now we will do the biogeochemical cycle. What is biogeochemical cycle guys, okay. So what do you mean by biogeochemical cycle? Biogeochemical cycle. So biogeochemical cycle guys. So bio means living. Geo non-living guys, means non-living, like lithosphere, hydrosphere, atmosphere, all those things, and chemicals. So transfer of the chemicals like nitrogen, oxygen, carbon, okay, oxygen, sulfur, all those things. Cycle. So guys, first of all, before I going to explain this concept, what do you mean by cycle? What do you mean by cycle guys? So this is the cycle. So in this process, whatever the nutrients or whatever the quantity that one is utilizing, that should be replenished again in the process guys. So if we take the something X in the form of the one way, again that should be replenished in the cycle in the some other way, is known as cycle guys. So same process will be taking place in the here. Not only this process, in every cycle, the nutrient cycle, the carbon cycle, hydrogen cycle, the water cycle, whatever the things that we are utilizing in that cycle as a quantity, that should again be added to the cycle in some other way is known as cycle. So in this biogeochemical cycle, what are the chemicals that are used by the living and the non-living that again should be added to this cycle? This process is known as biogeochemical cycle. Cycle is the importance of that, guys. So we will see how this will be going to add in the system. Okay, right. So first of all, guys, biogeochemical cycle, in this process the elements, guys, for example, the living beings need the energy, guys. That energy will be get from the sunlight. Okay, energy will be get from sun. But during the process of energy, that is from one tropic level to the another tropical, there will be some loss of heat, guys. So loss of heat will be take place. Loss of heat will be takes place, and the nutrients also required for the organism to survive. Nutrients. So these nutrients will be replenished or recycled, guys. So energy is also required, but there will be some loss of heat when we transfer from one tropic level to another tropic. But this will be, guys, the loss of heat will take place, but its cycle won't occur, guys. So its cycle of process will not be done. Only this cycle will be happen with the nutrients. So nutrients cycle will be done, guys, but the energy cycle will can't be done. Okay, this will transfer the energy from one tropic level to the another tropic level, but such that in such a way the entire energy is not transferred. Some will be lose as a loss of heat. Okay, but the nutrients will be replenished and the recycled again and again. So in the biogeochemical process, guys, we will see how this will be happen, guys. So these chemicals will be recycled. So these are the very important for an organism to survive this. That is chemicals like the nitrogen, hydrogen, carbon, oxygen and the sulfur. So how this process will be take place in the system, guys. So see, guys, for example, producers, guys. Producers will be eaten by the consumers. Okay, consumers will die, guys. Okay, so what happens if the consumers die? They will be decomposers. So decompose means decomposition will take place. Okay, so decomposition takes place means, so there will be some water and minerals in the soil. So this will be again taken by the producers. So a simple example is, so producers are the green plants which exist on the earth, guys. So this will be eaten by the consumers. So we have dealt with many classes how this will take place. So consumers after some days, years will die, guys. So this will become the decomposers. So the decomposer will become is decomposition process, guys. Okay, decomposition process. So if those are decomposed, there will be the soil is filled with the water, guys. The water and the minerals. So again those will be taken by the producers. So this is complete cycle, guys. So in this there will be transfer of the chemicals, the nitrogen, hydrogen, carbon, oxygen and sulfur will be takes place. So if producers also dies, guys, why? Because plants may also die, those are living beings. So they will become to decompose. Again this process continues, guys. So in such a way, this is biogeochemical cycle will take place. Means, for example, this is the living being, guys. Living being to living being. Living being to decomposes. So decompose when it takes place, soil means non-living. Okay, from non-living to again it will be decomposition, and the minerals again it will produce means living. So this is the process of living to non-living to living, again it will be goes on. So in such a way this process takes place. So living beings and the non-livings, the transfer of the nitrogen, hydrogen, carbon and sulfur, oxygen, guys. So this process is known as biogeochemical cycle, guys. Okay, guys, I think I have clearly explained what is biogeochemical cycle. Now we will move to the nutrients cycle. Okay, so this will clearly explain how it will be. So this process will make us how the nutrient cycles are balanced and how those will be going to exist in the system, guys. Why? Because these things are going to be make circle, guys. Means again whatever the things that were produced here, so same thing we are going to produce, guys. So producers will be eaten by consumers and decomposition the minerals. So minerals will be again taken by the producers. So again it becomes the producers. Okay. So in cycle, as I explained you, whatever it is taken by the organism, same will be recycled and replenished in the system, guys. Okay, clear? So now we will move to this our second topic of this chapter, that is nutrient cycle. We have done with the energy flow, guys. Now we will move to the nutrient cycle. Okay, nice. A small one more point I will discuss. In energy flow, yesterday we have done the a pyramid of number, biomass and energy, gas. In the pyramid of number and the biomass, we have both upright and inverted. Whereas in the pyramid of energy, we have only upright. But why? Because in the pyramid of energy, we can't take the process from the back to front, like we have done in the pyramid of number and biomass. So it is a unidirectional single way pathway of food is called as pyramid of energy, gas. Means from one trophic level to another trophic, means from producers to the last consumers. Again, we can't take the things from the consumer to the producers, guys. Okay, so pyramid of number is an upright and inverted. The pyramid of biomass is upright and inverted, whereas pyramid of energy is only upright. Okay, important statement, guys. So we are going to see the nutrient cycle. So in this we are going to see the gaseous cycle. That is, we have water, nitrogen and carbon. Okay, so we will see water, nitrogen and carbon. Okay, so we will see here what is water cycle, water gases. So guys, what is meant by nutrient cycle, guys? So nutrient cycle will be the one which the nutrients in the system will be again replenished, guys. As I explained in the previous class, what is cycle. So the nutrient cycle may be two types, guys. So that is the perfect and imperfect, guys. Perfect and imperfect. Perfect or imperfect. What is meant by perfect cycle? So perfect cycle is the one which will be recycled very fast or easy, is known as perfect cycle. Though whereas imperfect cycles it will be slow, guys. Its process of the replenishing is so we have examples of this perfect cycle is the gaseous cycle. Example, gaseous. So gaseous cycles will be can be replenished easily. So here we have the example of sediment cycle. So sediment cycle means in the lithosphere, guys. Lithosphere. So it will take place in the lithosphere. Okay. So whereas the gaseous cycle takes place in the atmosphere and hydrosphere. So this is a perfect and imperfect. Imperfect we have the fast and easy. The example is gaseous cycle. So through atmosphere and hydrogen. So whereas the imperfect is it is slow, that is through sediments and the lithosphere, guys. Okay. So now we are going to see the gaseous cycle, gas. So in gaseous we have the first one, the water, guys. So how the water will be going to replenish in again. So simple process, guys. Simple process. So see in the atmosphere we have the evaporation takes place in the atmosphere, guys. So evaporation means small tiny spores of the water, guys. So we have sunlight and the sunlight will hit the air and the small water vapors will come to the atmosphere. That is evaporation will take place. Evaporation. So the evaporation is the small water particles that will present in the atmosphere, guys. So evaporation will take place in the atmosphere. So this will come, guys. So we will come to the clouds. So in clouds, what happens? Condensation will take place. So condensation. So what do you mean by condensation? So the water vapors present on this earth come to the clouds, and here after some saturation point, the clouds will be burst, gas. This process is known as condensation. Okay. So this vapor comes to the clouds. So in clouds there is having the holding capacity of the water. After they saturate, they can't do anything, guys. So that will come in the form of the rain, sir. So rain through it is known as precipitation. precipitation. So through the precipitation process, it comes to the downwards. So in simple, we have water cycle: the evaporation, condensation, precipitation, guys. Okay, these are the three processes which will take in the water. So in the form of precipitation, again it comes in the form of water. So water will be stored in the ponds, lakes, rivers. Okay, and few water also present in the atmosphere, guys. So in the atmosphere also we have water. Atmosphere also we have water as a water vapor, and moreover there is a process of taking the transpiration, guys. So transpiration is the plants take water, guys. Plants take water from the soil. Okay, from the soil plants take water, and in the form of the pores on the leaves it will evaporate. So these also again will go to the atmosphere, and this will include in this, and this will go to the clouds and condense, and in the form of precipitation it will form on the soil, guys. So this is known as water cycle. So again this will be taking place. So from the here to here again in the form of the water it will come to the ground water. Okay, this form of process is called as water cycle, guys. So it is in circle, it's formed. So it's happening in the means in the complete closed form. Okay, guys, this is the how water cycle takes place in the system. So every nutrient cycle depends upon the water cycle, guys. It acts as the solvent for the medium to take the organism the nutrients in the system, guys. Okay, so in this way the water cycle completes its process through evaporation, condensation, precipitation, and again in the groundwater. So these will be plants will be done through the plants will be transpiration, guys. Transpiration. Okay, guys, you should know exact definitions. What is precipitation, condensation, atmosphere, evaporation, transpiration? All those things you should know. Okay, so through evaporation process, atmosphere. So atmosphere is through clouds, condensation, and precipitation, and again to the ground. Okay, so in the ground it will be form of ponds, lakes, rivers, and the groundwater. So again this will be recycled, guys. Okay, this process is known as water cycle. Okay, it is an important solvent for the organisms to intake of the nutrients, and this plays a very important role in the system, guys. Why? Because other nutrients will form through the water itself. Okay, so shall we move to the second topic, that is carbon cycle, guys. That is carbon cycle. Carbon cycle. So what is meant by carbon cycle, guys? So how this will take place? So guys, carbon directly will can't form it exist. So carbon is that. So in the system we have the carbon dioxide 0.93%, guys. 0.93. So nitrogen 78%, the oxygen 21%, and argon 0.93. So carbon is not 0.3, carbon is 0.06. Okay, guys, it's very important. The UPSC can ask the ascending order or the descending order. So nitrogen 78%, oxygen 20%. On the third place, not taken by the carbon dioxide, it will be taken by the argon, that is 0.93%. So argon constitutes less in quantity, guys. Less in quantity. So, but it is very important for the preparation of the. So with the help of carbon dioxide only, plants prepare food by them, guys. So if you see the formula, CO2 plus H2O, C6H12O2, C6H12O6 plus O2. Okay, guys. Okay, so during the sunlight and photosynthesis. So plants take the carbon dioxide, and through the water from the roots it prepare the carbohydrates, that is C6H12O6, and the oxygen, guys. So in the presence of sunlight and the photosynthesis, this is known as the photosynthesis process. So guys, clear? So how the carbon cycle will be takes place in the system that we are going to deal with. So this is very important, guys. Okay, so carbon cannot exist as an elemental form, guys. So it exists in the carbon dioxide component. So first of all, you see, guys. So here we have tree, guys. tree and small plants. Small plants. Small plants, and we have the animal size. Animals. So in this process, what happens now? So animals through respiration will release carbon dioxide. Gas. Okay? Animals. These are animals. These are plants. Okay? So this will be released the carbon dioxide. So the carbon dioxide will be taken by the plants. Okay? So it will take photosynthesis. So this will take the photosynthesis gas. Okay? So this again this will be taken by the consumers. So guys, what happens So whatever the waste material that will be left over here through animals will be degradable. So it will be degradable guys. Okay? This will be degradable. So this degradable material will be converted into the carbon dioxide. Okay guys, clear? So again this carbon dioxide moves to the soil. Okay? So this moves to the soil. Okay? Soil guys. And this process again will be, so this will be taken by the plants. Guys. Okay? So this in such a way the entire process will be takes place guys. So carbon dioxide and in the few things animals also die guys. So these will also die. So this will also release the carbon dioxide and they are going to degrade. So they are going to degrade. So the plants and the animals will die guys. So plants will die and animals will die. So this die, after dying they will be degraded. That is decay and decomposition. Okay, and that will be connected with the carbon dioxide. So carbon dioxide will be stored in the soil gas. So again this will be taken by the plants in the process. Okay, so again this process will take from in the photosynthesis. Okay, in such a way, so whatever the plants take will so whatever the carbon dioxide that is taken by the plants through photosynthesis, it will be replaced in the soil and will be taken by this photosynthesis, this process guys. So it may be short or the long. So the short duration will be the short duration will be like, so this process is known as the short duration guys. So for the long duration, it will be carbon dioxide will be stored in the energy. The carbon dioxide will be stored in the water and in the land. So some like if you burn the fossil fuels also, those also will going to release the carbon dioxide, and those things also will going to come into the environment. So those are the long-term process guys. Like some are stored as the resource in the aquatic and the terrestrial process. Okay. So in such a way the carbon cycle process completes guys. Okay. I repeat. So through the process of respiration, carbon dioxide will be released. So carbon dioxide will be taken by the photosynthesis, and the photosynthesis they will prepare some food and energy. Okay guys, this is our part. And the animals, the waste, they will be degraded and decayed, and these animals, plants and animals will also die, and they will be degraded and they will in the form of carbon dioxide. So through this process so the carbon dioxide will be released. So whatever the released carbon dioxide will be again taken by the to soil guys. So this process will be again continuous. So this process is known as carbon cycle guys. So guys, I think today we are done with the water cycle and the carbon cycle. So and we are left with the one cycle, that is nutrient cycle. So we will see what is nutrient cycle. So this carbon dioxide cycle plays an important role in the ecosystem guys. I clearly explained what is the water cycle, carbon dioxide cycle and the nutrient cycle. So the nitrogen cycle. So nitrogen cycle is also very important guys. These are the proteins. So these are the building blocks for the living organisms to survive. So it exists as a 16% of the components. So in the living organisms, the nitrogen will be of 16% guys. So this plays as very important role in their survival and their building blocks as their strength. So we are going to see the nitrogen cycle. So nitrogen will be exist as a 78% in the earth gas, but it is in the elemental form. But those things will not be taken by the organism directly. So this will be taken through the process of the converting gas, and the fixing is known as like setting gas. So what are the elements that take directly from the nutrient? So what are the elements that present directly in the in the atmosphere cannot taken by the plants? It will be converted into the nitrate, ammonia. Okay, so this can be converted into the nitrate and ammonia. So then only plants can take this the nitrogen gas. So directly it can't take. So how we need to convert this process? So first of all, we have the 3 minutes gas, that is through the microorganisms. So through the microorganisms, we can convert the elemental nitrogen into the nitrate or ammonia. And the man will convert in industries. Okay, and the third one is through thunderbolt or thundering. So these 3 processes that will convert the elemental nitrogen into this form gas. So first of all, we will see how the element nitrogen will be converted to the ammonia. So in the ammonia, we have 3 types of converting gas: free living nitrifying bacteria. So free living nitrifying bacteria will convert gas. So example is Rhizobacter. Will convert the elemental nitrogen into the ammonia gas. Okay. Second one is symbiotic nutrifying bacteria. So this also will convert the example is rhizobium. So these are the process which will be converted by the elemental nitrogen into the so-called ammonia. So free living nitrifying bacteria, example is the Rhizobacter, and the symbiotic nutrifying bacteria, that is Rhizobium. So this will convert the elemental nitrogen into the ammonia gas. Okay, so now we will see how the ammonia bacteria will be converted to the nitrate and nitrate gas. So again, these ammonia ions will again not taken directly by the plants. So this ammonia is converted to nitrate gas. So this process is called nitrosonomy. So the process of converting the ammonia to the nitrate is called So the process of converting the ammonia to the nitrate is, guys, I am not remember the word, so I will explain. So again, this will be converted from ammonia to nitrate, and again the nitrate to nitrate. Okay, so again the nitrate to nitrate will be converted. So to some more process. So this will be taken by the plant base. So this will be taken by the plants. So as ammonia acids. So after the plant reaches the highest level, it will die, guys, and it will again to the soil. So again this entire process will take place, guys. Okay, I repeat. So after this ammonia is converted to nitrate through also some process and again the nitrate is to nitrate gas. So after this, the ammonia will be taken as the ammonia acid as the protein, guys. So protein, and this will reach to the highest level, and again it will die. So in the soil, guys. So guys, this is the place how it will be happen. Okay. Guys, then this is nitrosomonas. Okay, this process is called nitrosomonas. This is rhizobacter, guys. Rhizobacter. Okay, this is azotobacter. Okay, guys, sorry. So the free living nitrophilic bacteria is azobacter, guys, and the symbiotic nutrient bacteria is the rhizobium, and the conversion of the ammonia to nitrate is nitrosomonas, and the conversion of the nitrate to nitrate is rhizobacter. Okay, so in this process the entire cycle will be takes place, and so there will be some denitrifying bacteria also, guys, pseudobacteria. Okay, pseudo nitrifier. So pseudo nitrifier will convert again this nitrate, nitrate and ammonia into the elemental form. This is known as pseudo nitrifier, guys. So in the aquatic system also it will take place. So with this I am stopped here, guys. So in the next session we will do the sedimentary cycle, that is the phosphorus and sulfur, and we will do the ecological succession, guys. Okay, thank you.